This content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. The Better Traders is not a broker dealer. We are not an investment advisor. We have no access to non public information about publicly traded companies or cryptocurrencies. And this is not a place for the giving or receiving of financial advice, advice concerning investment decisions, or tax or legal advice. The value of investments and the income derived from them can go down as well as up. Investors may not get back the amount they invested, and past performance is not a guide to future performance.
Hey guys, it's me, Min and Papa. I thought that I could hear stuff, and I can't hear anything. So as soon as this is catching up to where I actually am, I'll know exactly where I am. I've been playing with my audio settings lately, so you'll have to forgive me. But please tell me if you do hear me. You should be able to. I'm pretty sure you can. So let me know. Can you hear me? I think you can. So I'll just wait a second, because if not, I got to fix something real quick. So let me know if you can hear me. Good. Thanks, Robert. I really appreciate it. That helps, so I can just move forward. All right. So how's it going? It's me, Moon and Papa. This is obviously a live stream because, wow, that was an amazing intro. I know. Thank you. So these happen every single week at this time. This is my Thursday at 11 a.m., which would be North America, East Coast, 10 p.m., and it would be West Coast, it would be 7 p.m. So if you want to be notified for the next upcoming live stream, you can go ahead and hit these notify me buttons, and then you'll get a little bit of a ding. You get a notification about that. All right. So we're going to cut right to it for today. In these live streams, I spend most of my time checking out charts. I talk about Bitcoin, talk about maybe a couple of other things. I have another chart that I want to share that I talked about in the Better Traders Club live stream from last week, not this week, last week, yes. And I think it's worth repeating. I talked about it a little bit actually in my chat with Gareth Soloway, this one. So I want to talk about what I'm seeing, why I think it's a really exciting thing, and we're going to go right over to TradingView. So looking at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, a lot of the same. This is what I was predicting, what I was hoping would happen, has happened. So far, everything is going according to plan. Now, before you start going, wait, but what about this and that? Like, this is going to be so bad. It's not going to be, in my opinion, it's not going to be that terrible yet. I don't think so. Oh, and wait a second. Bing, there I am. So what I want to show you is the fact that we had a bear flag. The bear flag has most certainly been broken, which is awesome. So breaking below this bear flag has been the best thing that could ever happen for Bitcoin. I told my club members that there was an 80% chance of Bitcoin breaking to the bottom of this bear flag and a 20% chance of breaking to the upside, meaning that it's not likely going to happen, way more likely to expect a move to the downside. Now, for everybody that is new to this, you just happen to stumble on this, welcome. I want to share why I think we're not going to go to 13K. I'm not trying to inject hopium at all. I'm trying to look at this realistically. So we're going to take a lot of steps back. We're going to go to the weekly time frame, and we're going to use my, oh, I need this. I need that going away. What I want to do is I want to focus on this chart, and I want to focus on, where is it? Oh, no, not this one, not this one, this one. There we go. So I want to focus on the TBO. Now the TBO is this indicator here with the green cloud and the green line that goes to a pink line, all these dots and symbols and stuff. Fantastic indicator. It's in the description of this video and pretty much every other video I have because it's a legit amazing indicator that I use for all of my trading decisions. So in using this and having used this for about 3 years now, I recognized a formula, which I have here. So this TBO bear formula is essentially this simple thing. And I repeat this every live stream for the sake of those that are still like, oh, I don't know, because this is why I'm making the decisions that I'm making. This is why. So we have two of these blue dots, which are closed longs. we have a red X, which is crossed down, and we have a pink triangle pointing down. That's our open short. When we see this formula pop up on the screen, this tells us that we are confirmed in a bear market, as according to the weekly chart for Bitcoin, okay? So why I think this is fantastic is if we go back here to 2018, then we look at the same thing. Blue dot, red X, pink triangle down, same formula. And we can see that after this happened, from candle open to the lower wick here, Bitcoin actually dropped 56, we'll round it up, 56% from here to here. And it took 18 weeks to do that. So going back to where we are right now, we can see that's why that there are this 18 bars. Okay, we have our 18 bars here. So looking at that from 2018 is 18 bars until our capitulation moment. We actually had the same exact thing happen, crazily enough. So looking at it, we have our open short, and then we have the next candle, the open of this candle going to the wick right here. Check out the percentage, 54%, just 2% shy. Pretty amazing, right? And the fact is that this happens at the exact same time as the last capitulation event happened in 2018. And you want to know what else is interesting about that? Even without the TBO, even after we capitulated, what did it do? Red 1 week, green 1 week, red, and it fell. Then it just does nothing for a while. Keep that in mind. So let's go back in time to 2014. Now, because this is a newer chart, which we don't have enough time to get these closed longs, the blue diamonds printed up there, I'm pretty sure that it would print here and here. So we do have the red X, we have the open short, and we can see that it took 14 bars for Bitcoin to capitulate. And look at how much it dropped. From the candle open to the bottom wick, it dropped 52%. So we got 52%. Over here in 2018, we have 56%. And now we are looking at 54%. So you can see why I'm feeling like I think we hit the bottom. We also capitulated right on time, right here. So given that, I think that we are going to be going sideways. Why? If we go back to 2018, for example, we can see here that the market fell, capitulated, fell down, kind of went sideways for a long time. This is a slow, brutal grind. If we see where we are right now, we're actually doing almost the same thing. So I'm going to bring up the candles from 2018 just to show you. We are literally right on time. These are candles that are copied from the previous 2018 cycle. Of course, we went up here where here it fell and it went up a little bit. So we're still on time. So thinking about when would Bitcoin recover? Well, in 2018, it moved up the week of October 31st, and it moved up to about 28K, which is interesting because we do have, we do have some resistance lines ahead of us due to CME gaps. We have a CME gap at 28,740 and 35. So let's just focus on 28,740, okay? So we're going to go back. So 28,740, 28,7, well, it's too high. We'll just say that. Great. So look where that puts this. This is probably going to be the case. This is what I'm expecting to have happen, where the candles are going to go sideways for a while, and then we're going to see an explosive move up, and then we're going to break into, or rather, we're going to close that CME gap, which eventually is going to be closed. And then Bitcoin's going to do whatever it's going to do next. I think we are still going to have a mid-cycle run. I talk about this a lot in one of these videos. I have to go over here to YouTube to show you. But if you want to know more about this, I spent a lot of time talking about this. Bitcoin price prediction for 2022 until, I think it's actually a lot further, 2025. It goes way, way, way out. It's a long prediction. It's a risky prediction to make because it's hard enough to know what's going to happen. But based on that video, so far, we're going according to plan. And I think it's very much possible that we're going to see BTC do exactly what I'm hoping it will do. So let me do CME gap. And let me just get this set to 8740. Good. I'm going to lock this so I don't accidentally move it, and we're going to hide it. All right, so that's what I'm seeing right now. So in regards to a broken bear flag and thinking about all this stuff, we're right on time. The reason why I don't think we're going to be going lower is because according to the TBO, we've already made our drop. That's confirmed, but that's only one point. That's only one data point. Okay, so let's look at another one. Let's look at RSI. So making RSI a lot bigger. Let's look at how RSI reacted back here in 2014. So here, before Bitcoin actually bottomed out, it fell down to basically 15.9, and then it did a double bottom here, 15.97, and then it moved up higher. Notice that it was after quite a big downturn. If we draw just a simple trend line right here, you can see it. So what we're looking for something to confirm some really bullish action is for the RSI on the weekly time frame to cross up this trend line that we have. So let's go ahead and move this over to 2018. So here we go. This is the top, and we can see the same thing happening right here. Look, it's the exact same concept, just a different time. Pretty wild, right? So what happened when Bitcoin actually, after it capitulated, it took a while, and then RSI crossed above. Really interesting, don't you think? So let's go ahead to where we are right now. Now is a really, really interesting setup. So we have this really long epic one, and the angle of this RSI is much stronger. So I actually have two of these here, and I call this my RSI, or rather my resistance fan, but it's on RSI. So if I were to do the same thing back here, it would be drawn like this. There we go. And then I would do an even tighter one, like here to here, which would have a different angle and end in a different spot. There we go. So it'd be slightly different. And if we were to do that back here in 2018, similar story, except this one would be from here. So we're looking at that as being our first, and then we take the next touch, and then we would just keep drawing it out until we get a new line of resistance here that's confirmed. It's tested, breaks above. So with that in mind, looking to where we are right now, notice how far this is too from the top. This was peaked out on the weekly the week of January 4th, 2021. It's a long time ago. So drawing it out to see where we are now, we actually had RSI hit this trend line, and it was tested and confirmed perfectly. And now what's happening? On the weekly time frame, RSI is moving up. So for one, I see that it's very clear, obviously, that RSI, when it crosses below this line of 25 over here on the indicator, which it's not showing me, but basically it's 25, and we cross up, that's it. We crossed up a while ago. We crossed up the week of July 18th when I went on vacation. That was when we capitulated. So it's normal for RSI to do this little dance. Now, what will make things even better is when RSI's value crosses above this trend line, and it's going to be a long time. It's going to be not even the end of this year. It's probably going to be in the middle of next year when RSI crosses above this really long trend line. So this isn't going away anytime soon. Remember, it's a weekly time frame. So RSI is something that I've been really excited by because it's showing me that there is agreement with the theory that I have at the TBO. Now, if we look at volume as an indicator, which we should, let me just go ahead and move this up. So volume has been steadily growing on BTC USDT, which is Bitcoin against Tether USDT on Binance. And the reason I pick this is because when we go to CoinGecko, which we'll do real quick over here on the browser, we go to exchanges and we look at, cryptocurrencies by market cap, my bad. Go to Bitcoin, go to markets. Down here, we're going to see Binance has the #1 amount of trading volume. When we're looking at the percentage of trading volume, Binance is seeing 20% of all trading volume for BTC USDT. Therefore, this is the chart we should be charting. we need to be looking at this one and paying attention to this one. So with that in mind, going back over here to TradingView, that's why the volume is really important to watch on this chart. I think it's really interesting to note, and I'm giving you guys a lot of stuff that I talk about in the club, but I'm going to stop in a second because I can't give too much more away because there's, well, too much more. There's a ton more. But anyway, what I find really interesting is this horizontal line that's drawn right up here. I'll even put it right at the top like that. This volume that we've been seeing ever since we capitulated is rivaling what we saw back in January 4th when BTC was really raging, when there was a ton of trading volume for market participants. Of course, when we have big dumps like we saw in the week of May 17th, there was a lot of trading volume on this day. And using the TBT base to quote converter for volume, Bitcoin saw $48 trillion in trading volume in this week. Rather, 48 trillion USDT. So it's way more than that overall, but there's a lot on this dump. Look where we are though. On this dump, it was quite a lot, but look, what I find really interesting is if we compare this dump that we saw back here where it fell 23%. So it saw $30 trillion in trading volume, but it saw the same amount on a week where literally Bitcoin did absolutely nothing. It only shot up, what, 16%, but it closed at 8% for the week. And the following week, what happened? Nothing. Literally nothing. If we measure it from wick to wick, it did 18%. That's nothing in a week. And look, even on this one, there's a lot of trading volume, even last week. So what I find fascinating is that all the bearish talk that we see happening on Twitter, on YouTube, and there are plenty of reasons why we should be cautious and bearish about the global macroeconomic view. Not everything is rosy and perfect. It's obvious and clear to see. But when we think about looking at the charts, not listening to the news, but using the charts because the charts are honest. They're not going to lie to us. The indicators aren't going to lie to us to meet and comfort us to meet our biases. So looking at it, we can see that there's steadily growing volume. Volume has been over the 30-day moving average for the last, let me do this, the last 7 weeks. And it's on target this week. Volume is steadily growing. The last time we saw volume grow after our bear market, look, it was well after the fact. It was after the pump. So we're seeing, in my opinion, more demand for Bitcoin than we did in 2018, than we did in 2014. These are just 3 things. I talk about a whole lot more in the Better Traders Club live streams, of which we have one coming up on next week, on Monday next week. So if you want to find out more about this, the Better Traders Club is a fantastic subscription-based club where you don't just get live streams, you don't just get me analyzing Bitcoin and all that stuff. You get you get a watch list from me bi-monthly, twice a month. You get access to the DCA backtester, you get access to the TBD signals, you get the TBT forecaster, the TBT stop loss hunting alerts. There is a ton more included in this. There's a lot of stuff. So again, I can't do too much more over here in TradingView, but if you really want more, you want more daily updates from me, not just looking at Bitcoin, but everything else, especially TradFi, you want to join the club. So let's go to look at a couple of things. So I have these 3 charts that I want to look at and share some exciting, interesting things that I see happening. So for one, if you thought Ethereum was done, think again. Ethereum is actually in process of forming a bull flag, and a bull flag would be the inverse of what a bear flag is, which is what we've been looking at for BTC. So bear flag is actually pointing up, which you'd think it should be the opposite, but this is a bear flag because it's coming from downward movement and there's a little bit of relief, then it falls further. So it's a bear flag. So a bull flag would be it's coming from an upward move, but the price is temporarily going down. And once it breaks above, it's confirmed a bull flag and it'll continue moving up higher. So how high could it go? if we measure from our impulse where it started, actually I need to use my price range tool. There we go. So it moved up 101%, moved up a lot. So if we take that and it's confirmed, we could see Ethereum shoot up much higher. Now, this is just a theory, not to be taken as gospel, just a theory. But moving above 3,000, that would be quite impressive. So if this is a confirmed bull flag, we will know when Ethereum closes and stays above basically 16.5, or it'd be easier to say $1,700 or $1,700. And we also have to remember that in just a couple of days, they are slated to release the update for Ethereum. The merge should be on September 9th, last I checked. So there is news coming. What Ethereum is going to do after that event, though, personally, I feel like it's going to fall. I think that it would stop, to be honest, here at 2,000. I know I just said 3,000, but thinking about the timeline, thinking about how long it's going to take for Ethereum to make a move up, by the time it's up here, it'll be September 7th. And then probably the day before the merge, there's going to be some uneasiness in the market. And then there's probably going to be a sell-off. That's at least my opinion. So another reason to join the club is this chart, OAX. I share a ton of charts for A/B trading, for DCA bot suggestions. I even offer a curated DCA bot, one of which is Power. I've been sharing on my Twitter account, my Twitter feed, updates from my Loom bot, which was offered as well as a DCA bot template. That has been incredible. It's been doing so well. So, but this one was actually tagged with a red flag, letting us know that this is one you just got to watch. And the live stream was on August 23rd. And if you were in the club and you decided, well, let me check this one out and I'll see. It shot up 150%. And it's still up. It's insane. This one just had a very big, surprising move. So it was a fantastic trade. That was ridiculous return on that trade. So congrats to club members who caught that one. That's really exciting. So the last chart I want to show you is something I've also been talking about in the club, but again, I mentioned that I have this video with Gareth Soloway, who is a fantastic trader. You got to follow this guy on Twitter. But we talk about the DXY double top in our little interview that we have. And I want to talk about that just a little bit in this video. Again, I've talked about this a lot in the club. Over here in the Better Traders Club server, you can see here that I've been talking about this for quite a while. So the main thing is this. Remember, a falling dollar means rising markets across the board. And because crypto moves by multiples when TradFi or traditional finance moves, this could push the crypto market much higher. So what am I talking about? Talking about this. Now, this is not yet confirmed. To be honest, it's still looking incredibly strong. If I were approaching this from the perspective of a trend trader, I would be into this chart completely, because using the TBO, I can clearly see that all four of the TBO lines are pointing up. I have the slow line at the bottom pointing up, mid-slow, mid-fast, and then the fast line. They're all pointing up. This is a fantastically bullish chart, which feels scary saying that because I want the VIX to, not the VIX, I want the Dixie to fall, the DXY. Because like I said in that post on Discord, if we see a falling dollar, that means that everything, including stocks, and especially Bitcoin and crypto, will move higher. Let me prove it to you. So I'm going to add Bitcoin in a new price pane. Just give me a second to switch. So we're looking at the performance of Bitcoin and the DXY, the dollar. So looking at our top, here we go, November. This is our market top. Look at, while Bitcoin has been falling, as long as the DXY is moving up higher, guess what happens? As the dollar goes up higher, Bitcoin drops. Now, here, Bitcoin found support. The dollar didn't do too much. It did move up. And when it moved up and went sideways, it allowed Bitcoin to go up higher to about 48K. And then when the dollar started raging again, what happened to Bitcoin? It fell. and it fell hard. What happened here when the DXY stopped? Bitcoin stopped. It actually went up for a little bit. And then what happened again? When the DXY started to move up again, Bitcoin dropped a whole lot more. And now that the DXY went sideways, so does this. This moves up and it falls down. But look, it's just an inverse indicator. DXY peaks here. Bitcoin starts to move up higher. When does Bitcoin start to fall? It starts to fall right here when the DXY starts to move up. The reason why I'm trying to hammer this in is because if, not when, but if the DXY is confirmed to have a double top, which it's currently holding right now, if it is a double top, that means that we're going to see, let me go back here, that if we see this happen and the DXY falls again, think about what happened for Bitcoin from July 12th to August 12th. So let's go back to the chart for BTC. So July 12th, right here. Let's even do it like this. July 12th to August 12th. 12th. So Bitcoin moved up 26%. If we can see something similar to that, again, we see a falling DXY. That means Bitcoin moved up 26%. If we take that same calculation, we go back to our chart for BTC, and if the DXY is going to start falling now, and we're looking at BTC moving up 26% from our bottom, we'll just do that. That's going to put us back up here at basically 25K again. Not saying, again, it's a sure thing. We still have to watch the DXY, and I'm watching it. Trust me. So if we see the DXY confirm this idea of a double top, boy, oh boy, will that be great. Now, here's one more thing that's going to make you excited. And again, club members know this. I've been sharing this and talking about it for a while. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Just like I showed you with the BTC chart. Remember that? When we were looking at RSI and a falling RSI, and noting that a falling RSI doesn't mean the price falls, but the price is going to start becoming weaker. And it's normal to see it peak while the price or the equity or whatever it is goes up higher. RSI can continue to fall. Okay? So keep that in mind. We have the same exact thing happening. Look, RSI peaked here on May 9th. Now we're seeing DXY move up. But look, we have a lower high on DXY. Right now, we're in the oversold territory above 70, and we have this resistance right here. Now, if this moves up and it tests at 75.24 approximately and breaks above, well, that means that the DXY is blown all the way up to 110, maybe even higher. So that double top theory, it's done. It's kaput. But if the chart starts to top out here and falls, it's going to not only have a double top, it'll be confirmed. And if the DXY is going to try again, it's going to have to beat a double top. Now, note that the more times that we have this bouncing, the weaker it is. So that's the scary part to this. I know it's going to sound amazing, right? But if the DXY does in fact fall, but it comes up to test again and test again, the more knocks it has, the weaker that becomes. And we could see DXY move up higher. Personally, though, it's crazy overbought. It's an index, so it's not really bought, but it would make more sense to see it kind of go sideways and weaken and fall. Now, that would mean a whole lot of happiness for everybody in the world, because a rising dollar is trouble for everyone. Just pick up the newspaper and read about what's happening in Europe. Well, that's a little bit separate, but still they depend on the dollar to a degree. So a lot of stuff like that. So I'm going to put a pin in this and stop because I'm at 29 minutes and 30 seconds. So I'm not going to stop in 30 seconds, but I try to keep this only to 30 minutes. And if it feels long, this is nothing, because the live streams I do for the club are at least an hour and a half, if not 2 hours long, like crazy long, way more in depth, all that fun stuff. So let me take a second to check out what I got here on the comments. So hello, Robert, from Colombia. Nice. Good, good, good. MA63. Okay, yeah, you figured it out. Yeah, how do I get into the group? Yes. If you want to join the Better Traders Club, it's in the description of the video below. But you can also just go to thebettertraders.com, and at the top there's the tab for the club, so you can do that as well. Cool. And Vincent Roberts says, I caught OAX. Awesome. Again, this chart, what a beauty. This one is just absolute madness. So you can see here, just to show it off again, OAX pumped like 150%, legit craziness right there. So well done, Vincent. That's fantastic. Oh, I'm not even showing the chart. So I just wanted to show the chart again for reference. But OAX is, yeah, it made a massive pump. And the reason that this pumped, it's not because I have inside information. It's not because I looked at their GitHub repository. I didn't look at the coin calendar website or whatever to figure out what events they have coming. This is just looking at charts and understanding crypto. This is me just knowing how to trade crypto charts because I've been doing it for so long. So this setup was clear that it was ready to pop, and I've been watching it literally for weeks. So I'm so glad that you caught it. Okay. MA63 asks, how do I add Bitcoin to that DXY chart? Oh, you can add anything to anything. You come up here to this plus symbol over here on TradingView, and it says compare or add symbol. So you click on that, and if I want to add the DXY to this, you can add it to the same price percentage scale. I don't advise that. It's really frustrating. New price scale is better. And I personally like to use, and here it is over here in B. So what I like to do is, by default, they always use regular, which I don't like. I like to use logarithmic. So if it matters to you, you can change that by going down here to the gear icons, changing it from instead to regular to logarithmic, and there you go. So that way you can have multiple things on your chart, which kind of make it more confusing. And it does take up some screen real estate, but it's good. Okay, one last question from Sapurher. I think that's how you say it, I'm sorry. And Kosravi. Hi, could you please update your price prediction for 2022, 2023, 2024? Well, going back over here to YouTube, to be honest, nothing has changed. Thinking about the timeline for the rest of 2022, 23, 24, nothing's changed since I posted this 3 weeks ago. So if you want to know more about what I think is going to happen, watch this Now What video. It's long. It's 27 minutes, but there's a ton of stuff over here, and there are lots of different chapter markers that will help. So far, nothing has really changed, in my opinion. I don't think that my prediction has changed because it's too soon. So by the end of this year, like in January, I'll probably do another one of those videos, just to take a minute to look and see what's happened in the charts. What do I think could happen for 2023? And understand that predictions like this going 3 years out, it's a little bit of a difficult thing to go like, it's going to happen. But in the video, I make lots of really good arguments why I think Bitcoin's going to hit the prices that I think it's going to hit by 2025, when I think it will be the top of the next bull market. Now, this is barring any and all global macroeconomic failures that we're seeing happening all over the place. This is just purely looking at Bitcoin's chart, thinking about the 4-year cycle in regards to the halving events that happen. So I understand that those predictions could also be like nothing, like it could do something completely different. But at the same time, when we see the slow motion economic collapse of the world's financial system, and then we look at Bitcoin and we see that you can't make more of them, no one can control the supply or manipulate it. It's accessible to anyone and everyone. I saw on Twitter that you can actually send Bitcoin to people via radio. So you don't even need the internet to do it, which is insane. There are just so many benefits to Bitcoin that I think whether we're going to see a new world order and the US is going to fall slow motion out of that number one spot, which I think will happen anyway, because that's how the world works. I think that it's going to be tricky to predict. So again, all of my predictions are purely based on metrics that I know are part of the Bitcoin ecosystem. I'm not taking into account of what wars I think could happen, what invasions, what crises could happen in 2023, 24, 25. So gotta keep that in mind when you're watching that video. Cool beans. Okay, that is looking like it's it for today's live stream, which is great. So again, it's fantastic to hang out with everybody here. If you've liked this video, please do like and subscribe and share this video on Twitter with all your crypto buds. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace. Oh, now. No, now. There we go. I got it the third time around.